What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. I've got a box. You know what that means, unboxing. Yes, I'm going to discuss what I picked up, why I got it, and kind of how I plan on using it. So without further ado, let's get started. Number one, some new bladed jigs. These were kind of interesting. I saw them. I actually had one of my subscribers ask about them. This is the Mustad scatter blade. Certainly a little bit different look to it. Now, I got 3/8 in both of these. This is the color that they call shad, so kind of a black silvery back with a whitish silverish belly there. What I thought was interesting about these is the way this connects. So as you can see, it's got more of an arrow-shaped head, kind of a pointed head on it, and the blade isn't attached using like a split ring or anything like that. It's actually got this little bar with a little, I don't know, ball bearing, I don't know what you would call that thing, a little bead almost looking deal that stops it from going off the end. It gives it just a little bit of room to move. Now, of course, it's got the standard snap up front. It's a flat blade. A little bit different because you can see, this is what makes it kind of strange, is this can go all the way around. I don't know of any other bladed jigs on the market where this blade can actually go all the way around the head. Usually they're fixed to the head of it and just kind of chatter back and forth, or they've got that split ring on there. So that was the one thing that I noticed about this. How much of a difference will make? I don't know. My first thought was, well, if you hit something and this just turns over, you're just going to get snagged, right? Well, problem solved. This is actually a weedless design of a bladed jig. So kind of similar to a lot of the like wacky hooks or, you know, whatever you see out there with that kind of wire weedless deal there. Will it be enough to stop it from getting snagged? I think it should do pretty well. How's it going to affect the hookup ratio? That's kind of always the thing with weedless deals. It's not super stiff, so I don't think it'll do too much, but otherwise, as you can see here, it does have the nice dual wire bait keeper on here. That will ensure that you keep your soft plastic on there nice. It's got a good hook. I think it Mustad, what's it say? Yeah, it is a Mustad Ultra Point, so it's got a very good hook on it. It's super sharp, digs right in. There you can see that kind of wire weedless guard. So interested to see how those do. A little bit different. I don't know how the swimming action is going to be impacted, if it's going to roll. That was the only thing that I worried about, was this just rolling behind it. I don't know, maybe with like a paddle tail or something back there, it'll keep it running true. But then I got this color here, the bluegill color, kind of like more of a young, almost translucent bluegill. So we'll see how those do. Again, the Mustad scatter blade. Okay, next up, sticking with the single hook cast and retrieve lures, more spinnerbaits. Yes, I got some more Nichols Pulsators. Y'all have heard me talk about them before. No, I'm not sponsored by them. I just really like their spinnerbaits. I wanted to specifically, geez, dude, Debo, get it together. Get some more Colorado bladed spinnerbaits. You're gonna see some more here, but I wanted to get some more Colorado blade spinnerbaits. I was looking at my box and I barely have any. So I grabbed a few of these. The bluegill color, great around post spawn for bass. Right when those bluegill move up and are spawning, a bluegill is awesome to throw. Or if you have a place that just has a ton of bluegill, I've had good luck throwing them even later in the year in the summer. So bluegill, I grabbed some white and chartreuse, and then I grabbed just some all white ones already threw in my box. But you can see there, gold blade, white and chartreuse. That's one of my all-time favorite colors. Of course, just all white does really well too. So the Pulsator spinnerbaits, I got 3/8 and 1/2 ounce. I like 3/8 from the bank and 1/2 ounce better from the boat. So we'll see how those do. I like all the other stuff. I don't imagine these are going to be any different. So some Nichols Pulsators with the Colorado blades. Okay, some larger Colorado blades for really muddy water. That big Colorado blade puts off a lot of vibration. So generally you want to go with either a darker color or a brighter color when you fish really muddy water, right? Go with a little bit bigger bait, it moves water. So I figured let's go with some of these. Cumberland Pro Lures, I've had good luck with their stuff in the past. I really like their underspins. They're pretty inexpensive and they work well. You know, nothing crazy and flashy. They don't cost a bunch. They flat out work. So I wanted to try some of their Colorado blade spinnerbaits. I got both of these in 1/2 ounce. Grabbed a couple different colors there. Of course, my old man would be proud of this one. Tequila Sunrise, his favorite worm color, but I just like the purple in the spinnerbait. I've never thrown it. I thought for low light, muddy, night fishing, that would be a good one. And then as I was saying, in muddy water, darker colors or brighter colors, I really don't throw black and chartreuse, so I got this color they call Insomniac, which is a black and chartreuse color. So we'll see how those do. Big blade, big thump, moving a lot of water, try to attract those fish by vibration, not sight in that muddy water. So a couple bright colors from Cumberland. Next up, greenfish tackle. I've been hearing more about them on certain things, so I grabbed some of these. These are their spinnerbaits. I grabbed a 1/2 ounce in both of these. Chartreuse white, they call it the thumper. Notice again that larger Colorado blade. It's not huge. That is a little bit bigger than, you know, like a little, I don't know the sizes in these, but a smaller one. So a little bit more compact profile. So when the water's not straight chocolate milk, but it's still dirty, you still want that thump, or it's starting to get low light, cloudy. Something like this, you know, slow rolling a Colorado blade like that. Again, I really don't have any more Colorado blade spinnerbaits. I haven't thrown them a ton, so trying to restock up on those. And finally on the spinnerbaits, another spinnerbait that I'd never heard of. This was another one that somebody told me to get. And I really like the size of the hook and the head design. These are from Revenge Baits. So again, I wanted to kind of get some strange off-the-wall colors. I grabbed a bright orange. I've never thrown a bright orange spinnerbait. So places where there are sunfish, perch, it's dirty water. I like the gold blades for dirty water, and I'm saying, let's try some bright colors. So, you know, in the fall when the water gets dirty, even in the spring after the ice is melted and you've got, you know, colder, dirtier water, I'm gonna try these. Like I said, I really like the head shape on it, different than just your normal standard round. We'll see how these do. I got that. I grabbed a bluegill, a couple bluegill colors in 3/8 and 1/2 ounce. Very, very cool looking bluegill design there. I like that a lot. Again, with the gold blades, and these are smaller Colorado. Now, I've heard some people say, Alex Rudd actually talked about this, and I thought it was really interesting. He said when you're trying to mimic bluegill, using a Colorado blade puts off a vibration that's more similar to a bluegill, as opposed to using willow blades, which kind of matches the shape and more of a vibration of a shad. I don't know, it's a cool concept. I've honestly just really focused on the color of the spinnerbait more and kind of the size of the blades than the exact blade type when I'm trying to mimic specific forage, if that makes sense. So like I would just pick up a willow bladed bluegill color with like gold blades and go through that when I'm trying to mimic bluegill, as opposed to looking exactly for a bluegill with Colorado blades on it. I thought it was an interesting concept. Alex Rudd has a ton of information on his channel. If you've not checked out his, go check it out. He's got a bunch of cool stuff, but they look to have a really beefy hook, decent wire on them. I don't know. If you've used them, comment below and let me know. Revenge Baits. Okay, still sticking with the single hook moving reaction baits, also from Greenfish Tackle. Check out those. They call that baby the Shin Spin. Shin Fokai, great angler. Watch him on MLF. Interesting, cool little concept. So I like this because it's a big profile, looks just like a regular swim bait head, but instead of having the underspin, it's got that blade on the front in the nose of it. Colors look cool on them. I think they're gonna be kind of an interesting, different way to fish a swim bait instead of just a regular head or a, you know, a belly weighted type underspin. Just a cool, different look. I don't hear anybody around here fishing these type of things, so anytime you can look a little bit different, I think it helps. So we'll see how those do. The Greenfish Tackle Shin Spin. Kind of cool. Okay, next for moving baits, just some single hook deals here. I wanted to get just some cheap hooks. Now I noticed these are actually for A-rigs, umbrella rigs, but I wanted to try to find some cheap kind of weedless and non-weedless hooks. I have people ask me about that a lot. What's a good hook to put a swim bait on that doesn't break the bank? You know, a lot of the packs are, you know, $5, $6, $7 for, you know, 3 or 4 heads. So I was trying to find some stuff that was a little bit less expensive to try out. These are Zorro Bait Company, just the regular umbrella weedless hooks. No reason you couldn't fish regular, you know, swim bait on those. They've got the wires there to keep them kind of weedless. So we're just gonna try those out. Something a little bit more affordable. I got 1/8, I got some 3/16, and I've got some 1/4 ounce over there I was looking at already. So we'll try those out. Let me know if you've used those. I've never heard of them before, but just kind of standard. And I also grabbed some of these, a casting rig hook. So again, umbrella rig. Now this, you can just rig them just as normal. They've got the little screw keeper too. So as you thread that soft plastic paddle tail on, you screw the nose of it onto there to keep it from pulling off the hook shanks. Cool design, I like that. You know, a lot of people talk about having to glue their swim baits on the jig head. With those, you shouldn't have to worry about that. So I grabbed some 3/32. I don't know, we'll give those a try. From Blade Runner Tackle, casting rig hooks. Okay, now staying on that, as a bank angler, often you kind of get into that conundrum. You want to fish an open hook, but you're around a lot of cover. So you end up switching over to a belly weighted hook, you know, an EWG type swim bait hook, but your hookup ratio isn't as good. So I wanted to find some open hook designs, you know, where the hook is open, it's not belly weighted, but something that's gonna keep it weedless. So really this is like a swim jig without the skirt on it. You just thread your soft plastic straight on there and fish it like that. These are from Debos. I didn't even know they made swim bait heads. Obviously I've got some of their rods. So I grabbed some of these 3/8 ounce heads, put some swim baits on those. I figure I can slow roll them. That way if I'm around wood or whatever, hopefully I'll come right over that and not get snagged. So also grabbed some of those from Boss. I like the Boss stuff. I've used a few of their things. The Dock Knocker I've used. I like it. But again, same thing. Looks like a swim jig hook. It's got the wire guard there. A little bit longer hook on this one, a little bit bigger. Again, it is a Mustad Ultra Point, so you know you're going to be getting a good hook with it. We're going to try those. I really don't fish my swim baits that way. I usually just throw them either on a regular jig head that's open, or I fish them on a belly weighted hook. So I don't really throw these. So we're going to try that and see how they do. Okay, now the last thing I want to touch on, since I was talking about belly weighted swim bait hooks, are those. These are centering pin springs. Now, on a lot of the swim baits, the spring where you actually screw the nose into the swim bait, they're small, they're kind of cheap, and they rip out the nose of your swim bait. And once that happens, it's pretty much ruined. You have to cut the nose of the swim bait off, but then it's not tapered, so it's like a big flat brick on the front of it. Tends to catch on stuff. With these springs are larger. I just got a big pack of these. I use these a ton. I switch them out whenever I can, as long as the swim bait's big enough to accept a spring of this size. I switch them out because these larger springs, you're grabbing more meat when you actually screw it in. You don't pull out the nose of that soft plastic as easy. So I believe in it. I don't, change all my hardware on everything all the time, but if it's got cheap little split ring or centering pin type spring things in the front of it, I change them out and don't ever second guess it because it helps a ton in the long run. So the Owner centering pin springs, those are the large size. I try to use those whenever I can. All right, I've only got a couple items left here. Staying with the moving baits, I grabbed some lipless. It's lipless season, or kind of was. It's gotten down into it was 28 for a high yesterday. Thanks, Iowa. But some lipless crankbaits. I was kind of on the fence about these when I looked at them. I thought, well, they're a little less expensive. The colors of them look good. These are the Lunker Hunt Reactor lipless crankbaits. Grabbed 4 different colors here. I thought they looked pretty good. I did take these out and use them, and I was pretty disappointed. And they say they're supposed to have a tight wobble, right? Kind of like a regular lipless. Both of the ones that I used had 0 wobble. I threw them out, and they literally just pulled straight through the water. So I don't know if it's the ones I got. I didn't fish them on anything different than I would any other lipless crankbait. These things don't even rattle. I thought, well, maybe they're too light, and I looked. Nope. They're ½ ounce, 2.5 inches long. So no different really than like a rattle trap, the Cordell spots, even a little 1/4 ounce that I use on the same rig. I don't know. I have yet to try the other ones. I used a bluegill and the yellow one. Neither of those had any sort of wobbler vibration to them unless I ripped it extremely hard. But even in reeling it quick, they didn't wobble. I don't know. Comment below and let me know if you've used them. I was a little disappointed with those, but again, maybe it was just the batch I got. I know they were pretty new. I don't know. Kind of disappointed though. So I'll try those and give an update. I'm going to be doing an update at the end of 2020, my kind of favorite lures, most successful lures that I've used through these unboxings that I feel didn't work or didn't work properly or I just didn't get bit on. Kind of going to do a recap. So look for that. I'll keep you updated. And the last moving baits that I got, I had not tried any of their items prior to this. Some 13 fishing crankbaits. These are the Warthogs. Warthog 70 to be exact. It is floating 3/4 of an ounce, 3 to 5 foot dive depth. I really like the look of them. They seem to have really good hardware on them. Does it say what the hooks are? Oh, VMC. They do have VMC hooks on them. I did already take one out and look at it, but a little bit different shape and design compared to a lot of the other square bowls out there on the market. You can see when you look at it from the top, it's got more of like a bulbous, I guess, kind of top to it that kind of tapers down. So it almost resembles more of like a flat-sided crank, I guess I would say. But definitely a bigger profile. Like I said, 3/4 of an ounce, but the hooks on it are good and sharp. The split rings on it seem to be good and heavy. And I like at the front, they did put that oval split ring instead of a round one. That's great because when you tie it up to it, you don't have to worry about like with a round split ring. Oh, and this, why hasn't everybody done that? Why don't all of them put somewhere on it the exact dive depth? I like that they did that, 3 to 5 feet right there on the bill. Now that could end up getting scraped and banged off from banging on the rocks, but I like that they at least put it on there. That way you know when you look. So I got that color, that one's Old Greg. I grabbed that one, which is Lucky Charm. I love that color, it looks cool, and I love Lucky Charms. And this color, which is Dreamgill. Very cool bluegill color look to it, and a little bit lighter bluegill color. So pretty cool. I like those. I'm excited to see how they do. I did get them out. I haven't got a chance to throw them yet, but I like the colors. Okay, and last but not least, we've got some soft plastics. Now, I think these might come in handy soon. These things are like absolute gold. Talk about just timing it lucky. I put this order in like a month ago or so and got this. I went back out and looked like a week later. They're completely out. This is the infamous Berkley Power Bait Max Scent Flatworm. I forget which Bassmaster Classic it was, but everybody was catching fish on these somewhere north. I think it was Wisconsin when they were there. Was it La Crosse? I don't remember what lake they were at. But anyway, holy smokes. Everybody was wanting these. Sold out on Tackle Warehouse. People saying they can't get them anywhere. I'm sure people are, you know, price jacking them, selling them for crazy amounts. But the 3.6-inch Berkley Power Bait Flatworm. I got those in green pumpkin, and then also in this brown and black color. I thought that would kind of mimic a bait fish. And they were the only two colors available, so it made my decision pretty easy. Whew, as soon as you open it, just wafts. Yeah, they've got a stank to them. That's a little flatworm there. That little dude is what's causing all the ruckus. 3.6 inches. Now you can see there, it's got the shape of kind of that, like, what is it, the KVD Dream Shot or whatever. It's definitely, the Dream Shot's bigger, but it's kind of got that shape, right? Fatter, gets a little skinnier than kind of the bulbous tail. That's it right there. Everybody was using those, and it is a cool looking profile. I think that would mimic a bait fish very well. I like it. It's a cool little bait. Obviously it works well. There was tons of pros catching tons and tons of fish on it. Now, does that mean it'll work where you fish? If you fish really muddy water with a bunch of grass trying to drop shot around it? Maybe not, you know? So it always depends on the place and area. Of course, they were in clear water up north. That's kind of the thing. Drop shot's like one of the kings, especially when you're hitting smallmouth. But see if they're worth the hype. I'm sure they will catch fish. Cool looking design. Power bait has that stank to it. I need to see if old Debo can catch a couple fish on these, but I like them. Cool looking design. All right, fishing friends, that's gonna do it for me today. Comment below and let me know what you're the most excited to see. If there's something that I didn't pick up, comment below and let me know what you'd like to see for the next unboxing. Maybe the old orange spinnerbait. You wanna see me catch a fish on that? I think it'll work. Heck, orange, it's my favorite color. Maybe the flatworms. I mean, there's just this kind of superpower specialness behind them. Everybody was using them and catching, that's the back of it, tons of fish. Maybe you want to see these flatworms in action. You can't find them anywhere. Or maybe the new to the market 13 fishing products. Now all I got was this crankbait. Comment below and let me know what you would like to see the most. Now today's subscribe fishing friend shout out goes to Michael Stake. Michael, thank you for watching my videos and commenting. I appreciate you, sir. And thank you everybody else that continues to watch and support my channel. Again, couldn't be anywhere where it is now without all of you. So thank you all so much. That's it. I got to edit. I probably need to have another coffee because I'm about ready to fall asleep. So thank you all for watching, and until next time.